What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and today we're reviewing the new book, Batman Curse of the White Knight. It's a follow-up to the original series that came out it's about end of 2017. It's a little bit of almost about 2 years ago, and gotta say this is great. If you haven't read that first series, go read that. It's Batman White Knight, one of the best Batman stories you'll ever read. This is starts off a little slow, but anyway, let's get into the review. And I'm not going to throw this down like I usually do. And you see, I'm touching with one finger. Because I respect this book. You can tell that Sean Gordon Murphy loves his work when you read this book. So I'm just going to gently place it down. Alright. Gotta be careful. You can't just throw these things around. So, we have a cool cover here by Sean Gordon Murphy, who is also the writer and interior artist of the book. So, Batman Curse of the White Knight picks up right where Batman White Knight left off. That series came out like around October 2017, I believe. And I loved that series, which a lot of people loved that series. And it was just a fresh, new take on Batman, on a new Batman story. And Sean Gordon Murphy, he said in the past that a lot of his inspiration for this iteration of Batman, which, by the way, if you're wondering, this Batman is not like canon Batman of like the I forget what they call it, but like the timeline that is right now, that would be like the Batman comic written by Tom King at the moment. Oh, and good news is he is going to be gone soon. So hopefully we can get Batman back. Back to this. So he draws a lot of inspiration from the Batman the Animated Series, which I grew up loving as a kid. And this book, book one, since it's Black Label, I guess it's being a little bit more special. This one, I really liked it. However, it didn't grab my attention and interest as hard as the first one did. The first one, I was just like hooked instantly. This one, I'm hooked because of the series that was there previous to this. So this first series set me up for this. It is a good comic. Don't get me wrong. This is an excellent comic. It's probably right now, I would say this is the best comic on the stands right now, as what's out there and new. This would be it. So it's an excellent comic. So this is another Black Label imprint, which I'm kind of really disappointed that Black Label, when it first came out, was supposed to be kind of like the top tier, like the top shelf liquor of comics. It's supposed to be the best artists, the best writers, and after the fallout with Vertigo and that imploding, then basically Black Label just has now become it's just for a more mature audience. So that's kind of disheartening because I was really excited for that. Anyway, so we start off right here. Boom, it gets right into action, okay? Which you may say, yeah, Chase, it's a comic book. It should get right into action. Well, if you open up a Marvel comic, don't be surprised if you see some people just kind of sitting on the couch having coffee, talking about how much it's a burden to be a superhero or something like that. Yeah, you think I'm joking, but it's out there. So, starts off, Sean Gordon Murphy, in the first White Knight, it was very bare bones. It was Jack Napier, who is the Joker. He forgets the Joker. He sheds that persona per se. I think he was taking meds though. Anyway, he becomes that's where the secondary title comes from, is he becomes the White Knight of Gotham. He basically shows how Batman is actually destroying the city, and the city needs to be saved by what we would refer to as, legal ways, the appropriate justice systems, all that kind of stuff. Not a vengeful avenger, which he claims is Batman. So by the end of it, Batman, he's kind of vindicated for what he does, and it's understood that Gotham does need Batman, and so Jack Napier, he commits himself back to the asylum. I'm talking a lot about the old series. Anyway, coming into this, so this is it's a history. Gets a little bit more into the mythos of Arkham and Gotham City and the Wayne history. And so it starts off Joker. I'm not going to go through the whole book. I'm literally just going to talk about a few things, show some things. So I'm not going to give any spoilers because this book is really good, and I'm just not. Plus, I'd probably get copyright stricken. So anyway, we're here at Arkham Asylum, and Joker is, or former Jack Napier, he's breaking out of the asylum. And so I just want to talk about some of the art here. Sean Gordon Murphy, he doesn't do a lot of, I've noticed he doesn't do a lot of cross-hatching. I mean, that's not to say he doesn't, but he doesn't do it a lot. I love his stuff because I used to hate his work. I don't want to say I used to hate his work, but I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. It was very, I didn't like all the pointy, he's very pointy in his work. It's very sharp, and it's a very stylized art, and like the Joker's nose here, and like it's just, however, I've grown to really like it because he draws so dramatically, and so it just envelops you right into the story. Like just his use of shadows right here, it's great composition. Like it just draws you right in, but you're not just like focused here. Like you are admiring everything else. It's kind of like, what's going on up there? Why is there lights down there? Like everything is very moody, and I just love it. It's really good. And so so Joker escapes from the asylum, and we'll skip a little bit here because I do want to talk about these two panels here. Again, there could literally be no speech bubbles, and you can follow the story. Like they're coming in, walking down, going through. Like, I know that sounds like that's how a comic should be, but you'd be surprised. There's some comics that are just so loaded with words because they want to tell you what's happening rather than showing you what's happening. Like the only dialogue here is crucial dialogue, because they're not talking about let's head downstairs to find out what's going on. Let's talk about maybe the Joker or what's, things surrounding it. They're not telling you what they're doing. Sean Gordon Murphy is showing you what they're doing and then talking about something separate. And that is, like, I just love that. I don't know why. When I first read this, I just loved that panel right there. I don't know. There's just something about, like, Jim Gordon being right up close and Batman in the background. And it's such a cool, just cinematic shot right there. So this book is about Azrael. He has a cool take on Azrael. He's an older Azrael. And I just want to go, I don't want to give too much away. Like this Azrael, he reminds me of Rambo, from the fourth Rambo with Sylvester Stallone, the one where he's in Burma. Like just that image right there, it reminded me of like Rambo when he's on the boat taking the people up a river. I don't know why, and he's wearing an army jacket, but because he's really built like Stallone, man. He's just a big dude. And then I just want to talk about this page right here, which is really cool. And we got Nightwing here, who's trying to basically tell Batman, hey man, you need to join the GTO, which is the police organization that was formed back in the first White Knight to help with crime. And Batman's basically saying, no, I don't want to join because basically, let's just read this. This is where good writing meets great art, and just you really start to feel for Batman. So let's just say, I'm not mad at Napier. I'm mad at myself. I had no excuse for getting it wrong. What do you mean? Look around. I had an infinite amount of wealth and resources, and I spent decades using them to pursue one single goal: to make Gotham a better place. It was my job, and I failed. And the only reason I finally saw my mistakes was because my greatest enemy rubbed my face in them. That's why I can't join the GTO, because I don't know how long Batman has left. It's just so good. Just such good writing. And I mean, that whole spread right there, just that wide shot of the Batcave, just, and you can tell Sean Gordon Murphy is not. I mean, I'm definitely sure he's using references, but he's not using 3D models like some you'll find in some comics, man, where like you just see stuff and it's so, you can just tell they went on to Google Sketch and they just got a 3D model of whatever it was they needed and they just plopped it in. It just feels like everything here just feels so organic, and I really like too. He he actually inspired me to do this on some of my pieces. Right here, especially back in that other panel. No, I'll just go right here. But go back to this other back here. But you can see like where he does splatters right here. Like it just gives a really grungy, visceral context to what you're reading, and it's just a very simple technique, but it drives the point home. And so yeah, if you want to start, like, go ahead and pick up this book. You obviously, I mean, it'd be best to read the first Batman White Knight that came out, but go pick up this book. Like, even if you haven't read that, you can go back and read it, but just go pick up this one and start it. You're gonna like it. It's so good, and thank you, Sean Gordon Murphy, for bringing out such a great version of Batman. A lot of people are calling it kind of the Murphyverse, and I mean, he's really done something very special with Batman. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever you want to say. And oh, that's the other thing I want to say. Like I said, this one didn't grab me my full attention or my full interest right off the bat with his first book. However, one of the things that was really special about White Knight was that over time, which is really rare because a lot of times the number one will come out and then the sales will just kind of decline or just plateau out. However, what happened with White Knight is it came out and then word of mouth started spreading and it actually increased in sales. And so that has a lot to do with how Sean Gordon Murphy layers his story. Because White Knight, and I know that this one, there's going to be layers and layers to this story. And by book 8, which is when it's supposed to end, like, all of that stuff is going to be resolved and wrapped up, and it's just a fun journey and exactly what comic books should be. So go get it, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel and go ahead and like the button down below. If you don't like the video, that's you, which I can't even make an argument as to why you wouldn't like it. So if you have a reason why you wouldn't like it, please comment that down below. If you did like it, go ahead and do that too. And yeah, thank you guys very much, and peace out.